Hello everyone, I am Ezekiel Bruni, writer, general tech nerd, consultant, and I'm here to talk to you about two things. How much cutesy mascot-based branding is too much? We'll find out. I think they kind of overdid it, but whatever. I'm actually here to review TunnelBear VPN and, discuss all of its features and how well it works for streaming and other things like that. This is TunnelBear. That's the whole interface, and you might be thinking, wow, you can't zoom out and go to different countries that way? That's kind of annoying. Don't worry, you don't have to use the map to connect to different countries. You can access the country list here and select servers in some specific countries like the US, just by hitting the little down arrow. So that's all doable. TunnelBear is available in 48 countries, which means it has a reasonably large server network for you to work with. Certainly not the biggest, but not the smallest I've seen either. But server size is only part of the speed equation. You also have to have good servers. So I'm connected to my usual go-to. It's connected to Dallas here. And this UI is kind of basic and honestly a little annoying at times. But anyway, let's run a speed test. Alright, so I have a total of 115 megabits per second of download speed. That is a bit low for me. I'm losing more than I usually do. It's going up to, my usual average is closer to 105 to 110. And I have a 10 total megabits of upload speed, and this is just slightly below average. So speeds, while not terrible, are not fantastic. But now let's talk about some of the other things you might be interested in. For example, you might be interested in streaming. Let's say you're traveling abroad, you don't want to miss your shows, why should you have to? So this is Netflix. Let's just give it a try. Not every VPN will properly unlock Netflix or other VPNs like it. Let's just give this one a go. Okay, it is working just fine. I can't show you more than that because copyright reasons. Give me a moment and I'm going to try out another streaming service. All right, I have successfully signed in to HBO Max. Let's give it a quick go with The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Okay, yep, there we go. It is working just fine. And now we're going to see how TunnelBear handles Hulu. I am, again, still connected to the Dallas server. And some of the Marvel shows. But let's run our test with Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, which deserved so much more than the 2 seasons it got. Okay, yep, working just fine, and that's it because, the usual reasons. Okay, so it actually unlocks Hulu just fine. If you like this video, if it helped you make your purchasing decisions, or if you were just entertained by it, then go ahead and like it. Subscribe to the channel if you want more. Hit the bell notification icon if you want to be sure you get every single how-to, tutorial, review, VPN comparison, and all of the other content that we're putting out on this channel on a regular basis. Also, check the links down in the description, as there will be a link to the full review of TunnelBear VPN and other VPNs that I will mention later, as well as links to our coupon page and other good stuff like that. So, go ahead and check out the resources down below after the video. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I did not expect that based on my initial impressions of this VPN. It's not... how do I put this? It's decently priced, and the features it has are decent features. However, you can get much better features for the same or better prices with other VPNs, but that's not the end of this review. Let's go over what else this thing can do. That wasn't supposed to rhyme. Alright, let's resume this because I want to test the download speeds for this Linux torrent here. I actually did write to TunnelBear staff via their sort of support chatbot. They don't have live support, it must be said. It said they were going to send me an email back at some point, but it's been a day or so, and I haven't gotten that email. I still wouldn't use it for torrenting because, dear God, look at those download speeds. Previously, in a previous test, I got as high as 1.5 megabits per second, but now we're looking at 284 kilobits per second. That is brutal. Okay, it's going up a little, but still, that's brutal. Those are bad speed. Oh well. So, don't use it for torrenting. However, if you want or just care about something like relatively secure browsing, and I do mean relatively, because, you know, a VPN is not a cure-all. I have to say that for my sanity, for my conscience. Anyway, there are some decent security features here. TunnelBear has a no logs policy. I mean, they will hand over your data if someone comes to them with a warrant, but they do not log your actual traffic unless there's a warrant in play. There is a kill switch, which is for some reason called Vigilant Bear, which will disconnect your internet if the VPN gets disconnected to keep your data from leaking. There is also AES 256-bit encryption, which is good. It is the most secure kind of encryption commonly in use these days. It's the industry standard at this point. However, it will slow down your traffic a little bit, but that can't be helped. It's a good trade-off in that case. You cannot choose your security protocol. You can't choose whether or not you want to use, say, OpenVPN or WireGuard. It looks like this is OpenVPN given those torrent speeds. And that's about it for security. As you can see, it is supported on Windows, and it is also supported on Mac, iOS, and Android. There is also a Chrome-based browser extension, so it can work in any Chrome-based browser. There's also another extension you can install to block ads and stuff, but I'd honestly just use uBlock Origin. You can connect up to 5 devices at a time on a single account. That is actually kind of on the low side. Not the lowest I've seen, but a little on the low side. You've got your email support and your bot chat app, like I mentioned before, and this VPN does get a little cheaper the more you pay, the more years you pay at a time. Fairly cheap, actually. Not super cheap, not the best prices. That still goes to private internet access in my book. But it's still really good, cheap prices for a decent VPN that doesn't have split tunneling. I forgot to mention that. It doesn't have split tunneling, so you can't decide which applications you want to use the VPN and which ones you don't want to use the VPN. Kind of annoying. Oh well. For payment, TunnelBear accepts most major credit cards, and whatever payments are available through the iOS App Store and the Google Play Store, you can, pay through those as well. Last and certainly not least, there's no money-back guarantee. So you can pay for a bunch of years in advance for a cheap price, but there's no way to get that money back, at least not guaranteed. You can ask for refunds, but there are no promises made there, and all refunds are processed separately. Alright, so the final score, the final roundup. I did mention being generally annoyed by TunnelBear VPN in general, but that is not why I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it because although the basic service is good, in terms of simple browsing and security and even unlocking some streaming sites, and it's cheap if you pay 3 years in advance, that is literally all this VPN has to recommend it. For comparative prices, if you want something even cheaper, go with private internet access. It has a bigger server network, a lot more features, is available on more platforms, and is just generally better. And our favorite recommendation is, of course, ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN has even more features than private internet access and an even bigger server network. It's a bit more expensive than both TunnelBear and private internet access, but ExpressVPN has the fastest networks we've seen, unlocks the most services, and is just generally the best option for general users, for people who want a VPN for their home networks or for simple work tasks and things like that, and they don't need a power user experience. I would honestly recommend going with ExpressVPN over TunnelBear, even though it does cost a little bit more. But if you want more details, do check down in the links below for full reviews of TunnelBear, private internet access, and our favorite ExpressVPN. There will also be a link down there to our coupon page, which can get you discounts on ExpressVPN, private internet access, and basically every major VPN out there, any one you can think of. We probably have a coupon running for it. And if you're going to pay a couple years in advance, even with a money-back guarantee, that coupon can save you a fair bit of cash. Alright, again, if you found this video useful or helpful, educational, please do consider liking, subscribing, hitting the bell notification icon for more of my lovely face. And... sorry. Can't help myself sometimes. And of course, I hope you liked this video. I enjoyed making it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. This is Ezekiel Bruni, signing out.